LeBron James all the way in.
And here comes Simmons the other way, 3-on-2. Simmons eludes the defender and lays it in with that.
Certainly the length altered that shot. Out of the window, steps and crunches.
First play right there. Porzingis from Jennings, throw down and a foul.
Irving, splits the defense with the dribble.
Part of it too is like I don't necessarily think this is just like new for Victor Oladipo. I do think like he was on a bad Magic team, and then he was on the Thunder. And look at a lot of the players that left the Thunder this offseason. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are much better not with the Thunder than they were with Russell Westbrook. And I'm blaming Russell Westbrook for this. Like, look at the Knicks. You got Enes Kanter and Dougie McBuckets, both playing like actual really good, viable role players on a decent team. Mm-hmm. You know, performing much, much better than they did with Oklahoma City last year. And I think, we've talked about this before, but I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Russell Westbrook is just really hard to play with.
Yeah, it just comes down to Russell Westbrook not playing like a true point guard and playing more like a two guard, in the sense of the two guard is taking a lot of the shots, and the two guard is doing a lot more with the ball in terms of scoring and all that stuff. But, Russell Westbrook had the skewed stats, I think, just because he was the only option and he made himself the only option. Yeah. Which kind of sucked for Oladipo because...
Which it goes to show he shouldn't have been the only option. Victor Oladipo, they had a perfectly viable second option on their team. Yeah. They just chose not to use him.
But, we'll see where it goes on from there, man. I do trust the Pacers to do a lot in terms of just getting to the playoffs. They could give a 1 or a 2 seed a lot of trouble, depending on where they go in terms of the seeding rankings. I'm sure they could give them a lot of trouble, just like they did last year with the Cavs, in some aspects, not all aspects. But
and let us not forget the return of a classic, memester.
The memester,
Lance Stevenson.
He's
back to his old ways. I love Lance Stevenson. He's so entertaining. Mm-hmm. He's so entertaining. He's like, I don't even know how to describe him. His on-court persona is so just funny and entertaining to me. Mm-hmm. The things he does to rile people up is incredible. I mean, he is like one of the best ones of all time, just blowing in LeBron's ears. So stupid and funny. I love it. It's classic. Credit to Lance Stevenson, too, because he was not even playing for a couple years, right?
No.
And now he's back in like a starting role on a possible playoff contending team.
Yeah, I think he also did the thing where it's like he finally took it serious.
I agree.
Where we knew what skills he had and what he could do for a team. Mm-hmm. Now he's just taking it to a whole nother level in terms of being more consistent with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's skip over a few teams. Let's just talk Detroit for just a second. Mm-hmm. I don't think people should start jumping off the bandwagon just yet. I do think they're better than an 0-4 week. I think being at number 7 was probably a little high, considering how bad they've been the last week. Like, they were really bad this week. Mm-hmm. But they did play a couple they played the Spurs, the Warriors, and the Celtics. So,
yeah.
They had a murderer's row of, competition to play up against this week. So don't jump off the bandwagon. They're still gonna have a good year, and definitely probably be like the 5 or the 6 seed.
Yeah, my only worry for Detroit right now is I don't think they're scoring enough points. Just looking at some of the quick little facts and stats, it's 96.8 points per 100 possession, which is second worst in the NBA. So they're definitely not getting a lot of points in terms of they need to get to a certain margin and they win.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the field goal percentage, it'll go up at some point as well. It's worse than the NBA with 40%. It'll go up. It's one of those, shots aren't falling. Hit the shooting. I don't know what I'm a coach and I can't even remember what the name of the thing is.
You want to meet your goals, let's just put it that way. And they're definitely not. Their field goal percentage is trash right now. So they need to take a look in the mirror, right? Detroit. Philadelphia, bad week. I think the same thing goes for them. Yeah. Even more so, honestly, they're a good team. Don't jump off the Philadelphia bandwagon. Just another rough week. I do think Ben Simmons, this is an interesting thing. I was thinking about this recently. He had another triple-double this week. Mm-hmm. His third of the season, his third already in his rookie year. I think it's interesting to see his triple-doubles compared to Russell Westbrook, because even though he lost this game, the game he got this triple-double in, I do feel like his triple-doubles are more of like, it's actually benefiting the team when he gets a triple-double, which I don't feel like I see that from some other players that get triple-doubles. Especially Russell Westbrook. That's who I'm referring to, really.
Yeah.
His are just stat stuffer.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see once this team becomes a little more mature and older. Mm-hmm. After going through playoff experiences, going through big game experiences. I mean, they had I wouldn't say a big game, but like a tight game with the Lakers. Yeah. And they lost that. But, Ben Simmons is obviously going to do very well in Philadelphia. He's got all the tools around him to be great. You have J.J. Redick who shoots the three, so of course you can suck in the defense when you drive in because you're such a monster in terms of driving. You have Joel Embiid to hand it to real quick if you just want a quick score.
He can do anything he wants to as well. So
yeah,
they have so many options. They got so many options. That's a good team. That's a good team. Washington, I feel like I already gave my thoughts on them. You're welcome to talk about them if you want.
Yeah, the only thing is, like I said, this team is struggling a little bit. I know John Wall is out, and I think he's going to be coming back soon, I believe. Bradley Beal's carrying the team right now, and when your second option is Otto Porter, I'm a little bit concerned about that. To me, I don't think Otto Porter was worth the money that they gave him. I don't know if I've said that before on the channel. I think I have.
That's a crazy opinion.
But I just don't think he was worth the money. Yeah, his field goal percentage is all right. But, if we just look at his stats real quick. So I do that.
Otto Porter. While he finds the stats, I'm going to slightly disagree with an asterisk because I do think he's worth the money at this point. But it goes with the whole thing of Washington in general. They just need to start winning games. It's not. Of course, it's not going to be worth it if they still aren't winning with this crazy big contract. Like, I think he's in today's NBA. He's worth the amount of money he got because he is a very above average player. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see what he does. The whole team's disappointing me. I can't even point to any player in particular.
Yeah, he's obviously increased his stats right now. 24 still has a long way to go in terms of getting better. But, his career stats is 9.8, 1.2 assists, and 4.7 rebounds for a small forward and a max player. You're paying max money. Yeah. So you expect him to play like almost Bradley Beal is like, or even to John Wall. That's the bare minimum that he can be for a max player. And he's just not living up to it, even though he's increased his points and rebounds. It's just because he's able to shoot the three that they gave him the money. Yeah. Which, obviously in today's NBA is very important, but...
Yeah, my point being just like, based on the current landscape of the NBA, not necessarily is he actually worth every dollar, but just... Yeah. He would have been paid that by a few other teams,
Yeah, I'm sure, which, we'll see if... I'm sure the Brooklyn Nets would have paid and he would have balled out there.
Oh, yeah. He would be much better there, too, because he would be the first option. Any other teams we wanted to discuss? Oklahoma City, I don't even want to talk about them. I'm sick of that team. Tired of it. New Orleans, I don't really want to talk about them either. Miami, I still think they're better than that. I think they're going to keep getting better as the season goes on. I think Spoelstra's too good of a coach. And honestly, they have a lot of talent on their team. But I think they're going to keep getting better as the season goes on. The Knicks. Oh, man, the Knicks.
It's a process. You got to think about it like that.
It's a process. We're definitely missing our number 2 best player right now, too, with Tim Hardaway Jr. being out. And he was really playing very, very well when he was healthy. Porzingis just came back. He's only 2 games in from his sprained ankle. So the injuries were kind of hurting us in the last couple weeks. So I'm not gonna abandon all hope.
Yeah.
Not yet. I'm hanging in there.
Yeah.
But I am a little worried about the team because I have seen some moments of like this team is bad, like very bad, like what everyone thought they were going to be in the last week, and it's starting to worry me that I'm seeing it. Like I've seen a couple quarters of games where I was like, holy shit, they're really bad.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't worry about it yet. I think the reason why everyone got so high on the Knicks right now is just because they had that really good start. And
yeah, I mean, they did the crazy, like, they lost the first 3 games and they won 8 in a row or whatever. So it was like, it was a lot of generated hype from people outside of New York and even people inside of New York who only root for the Knicks when they're good. So it was just like this, like, it was a created hype. So I think, like, even I, knowing that it was not necessarily entirely accurate, even I was buying into it because I was so excited to see the Knicks good. But I think if we're lucky, we're at the 8th seed in the East, honestly. And, you know, I think I probably said there's a chance they get the 6 a few weeks ago. There's no chance they get the 6. There's really probably a very minimal chance that they even get the 8th seed with teams like, you know, Indiana being as decent as they are. And, you know, there's a lot of decent teams in the East right now.
yeah.
So
I think the Knicks will make it. Whether it's the 7th or 8th seed, I think it's a high possibility. You know, we got some teams that you're like battling it for. Like the Magic are one team that you could be battling it for. I mean, it's just there's a lot of playoff spots. There's 8 for each conference. So I mean,
like I said, I'm not abandoning all hope yet. I do just like watching the Bulls game, which we lost a couple days ago. Good Lord. There was a couple quarters where I just, like, they looked like everything people thought they were going to be this year and worse. And worse. Because they're playing an awful team. The Bulls are easily the worst team in the league.
yeah.
And they looked worse than they did. So I was so scared for a few minutes. Because even Porzingis was just, like, not looking good. Not looking good. He just needs, like, he's been so good in the fourth quarter. In crunch time, he just needs to get back to where he was in the first, like, 15 games of the season where he was good every single quarter and he was unstoppable. And I think the injury, like, to his ankle and he had the elbow thing, slowing him down, but we saw some nice stuff last night, though.
Yeah.
So, come on, boys. Let's see some more out of you. Los Angeles, let's talk about them for just a second. All right, we continuing on just a couple more teams in the power rankings?
Yeah, just a couple more teams. I know you wanted to talk about a specific team in this power ranking.
Did I want to talk about a specific team? I don't remember.
The Lakers?
Sure,
yeah.
Let's talk about the Lakers. They're climbing up. They're at number 20. They had a couple big wins. They won 2 games out of 2.
Yeah.
Beat the 76ers, and I can't remember the other team they beat, but it was the Hornets. So not an awful team, not a great team either though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're seeing stuff from this Lakers team that a lot of people didn't think they were going to see this year. You know, I remember there was the whole conversation of LeVar Ball said the Lakers are going to win 35 games or something like that. Or did he say they were going to win 50 games?
I think he said 50. He says they're going to make the playoffs for sure.
Okay, I think he said 50, and then Stephen A. Smith, of course, our favorite journalist, if you want to call him that, came out and said, like, there's not a chance they win 25 or something like that. They're probably going to win 25 games. You know? They're probably going to win 30 games, honestly.
I think they can. Lonzo Ball is getting a little bit more confident now with him and Brandon Ingram compared together when they're on the court together.
Yeah.
They both shoot a better percentage than not. Mm-hmm. You know, Lonzo Ball is still kind of alarming with 39. Yeah. But he doesn't really take that many shots, I would say that. Nope. But, you know, Brandon Ingram at 47 is pretty good.
That is pretty good.
So, I mean, we're just going to see what happens on from here. I mean, I'm confident in the Lakers. I mean, the Knicks game versus Lakers, I know.
I'll be watching.
You'll be watching. I'm going to have to go with the Lakers here as a surprise win.
I'm going to take the Knicks in that game. I think they are going to win.
But,
they don't have anybody who can stop Chris Stapps.
Probably not. But I do think that maybe this could be, if there's a game to be a breakout game, Madison Square Garden has always arose some great breakout games.
Man, That would suck. If Lonzo just has this best game of his career and everybody's like, all right, this is what we thought. If he does it against the Knicks.
This could be a potential game. I'm not saying that it will happen, but this is the game to circle on the calendar as a game that if Lonzo Ball wants to ball out,
This would be a big one.
it could be a big one.
Well, then look at the game after that, too.
Cleveland, a game, LeBron.
Have they played yet?
I think they have played.
I don't remember if they have or not. But that's another big one. You can't take your eyes off that game either. The Lakers, I mean, he has two chances to come out, and put up a crazy performance against, one because of the location and the team, the other because of the competition he's playing against. Mm-hmm. He's got two good chances to have big breakout games this week. So we'll see. I'm still rooting for the kid. I think he's better than people are giving him credit. I do think what I like from the Lakers, I feel like they get a lot of bench points every game.
Yeah, their bench is pretty good. Jordan Clarkson, who was at one point a starter, coming off the bench. You have Julius Randle, who also is coming off the bench.
Yeah, I mean, those guys, like, most nights put up 20 off the bench, So you're getting at least, at least 40 most nights from your bench, that's pretty good, And what's
good about them is they're also getting the fourth most rebounds in the NBA.
Yeah.
So they're creating more opportunities for them to score or second chance points depending on the offensive rebounds. I haven't looked at that stat for them.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a great way to show. I mean, look at assists and points, 14th and 12th, middle of the pack.
Yeah.
The only issue with them is their defense.
Yes.
Giving up 108 points a game.
Not great.
But, I mean, who knows? This team could do something, and I was wrong. The Cavs this is going to be the first time they meet.
Oh, very nice. LeBron versus Lonzo. First game against each other. I'm very intrigued to see. Could be seeing LeBron versus future team.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think because that is Lonzo Ball's idol, favorite player, LeBron James.
Should be a surreal experience for him. I think it's going to feel it won't feel as good when LeBron chase down blocks him, out of the arena, but good luck to him. Another thing we didn't talk about, I don't know if you were saving this for later, but Jahlil Okafor got traded.
Yeah.
That you were saving that?
No.
All right. We didn't have a chance to discuss this because that came out after the charge last week. But yeah, number 3 pick, 2015 draft, got traded to the Brooklyn Nets alongside the number 2 pick in the 2015 draft, D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, that's a very interesting combination. I know Jahlil Okafor is more of the offensive superstar.
Superstar, maybe.
Not superstar, but more offensive-minded, I should say. That's his gimmick.
Yeah.
More offensive-minded, not superstar. But more offensive-minded, should get a lot more points now that he's playing. Hopefully they give him more minutes because I don't see anybody on the Brooklyn team that could challenge him in terms of for minutes.
Yeah, I don't think so either, really. I think he's going to have a good chance to actually, I think he got pretty lucky. He actually went to a team where his talents are going to be able to be shown off. They're good enough where they're not an awful team where he doesn't have anything, he has nothing to work with. He actually has some decent players around him to help him be better. And then, but they're not deep enough where he's not going to get minutes there either. Yeah. He's probably going to start for them.
The only thing I'm curious about is that he got traded to the same division as Philadelphia, and if a player is really good, it's one of those things where you won't trade him to the same team and any of the teams in your division.
Well, obviously they didn't think he was good because he wasn't. I think he played in literally 2 games this season so far. So
yeah, but I mean, they must have saw in practice and all that, and last year before they drafted Joel Embiid.
Maybe they just they realize his style just doesn't fit with what they want to do at all. He's not the same type of player as Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's worrying that he did get traded to a division rival.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I honestly I like him. I hope he ends up rubbing it all in the 76ers face and they have crazy games where, that could be a good rivalry, going back to that topic. You know, I'm rooting for him. I don't think he's ever going to pan out to be as good as a number 2 overall pick should have been. But I think he's going to end up proving some people from the 76ers organization a little bit wrong. I think he's going to put up some decent numbers. Are there any other teams we wanted to talk about? I honestly don't think so. A lot of these bottom of the barrel teams are just trash.
Yeah, there's no real team to talk about that I would be like interested in talking about for power rankings.
No, I agree.
So let's move on to the next topic. And that